Of all the things that I thought I would run into at Kentucky Lake, childhood memories were not one of them. But as soon as I saw these Asian clamshells, it immediately took me back. I just remembered being a kid at the river and finding these with my grandfather. And it's funny, a place that you've never been sometimes can bring back memories of important places that you have. The drive into Land Between the Lakes just made me feel like I was going home. There's something inherently comforting about these eastern meadows punctuated by little stands of hardwoods. It just feels familiar. And as you get further into the park, the whole ecosystem just continues to open up. And eventually you start to see more and more these open fields of bluegrass. And when you get to Golden Pond, you have a chance to actually see a little bit of what Kentucky looked like before settlement. This small area is comprised of a patch of tall grass prairie, and it's inhabited by bison and elk, two animals that were natively found in Kentucky and then extirpated. And while elk have been reintroduced to a lot of the state, bison have not. And this is pretty much the only place in Kentucky left to see them. Watching those bison move across that prairie made me unexpectedly emotional. A few years back, I spent some time as a ranger at Yellowstone National Park, and I fell in love with it. And bison had been a huge part of my daily life. And this place already resembled many of the landscapes that I knew growing up. And so sitting there now, I felt as though in visiting a place that is meant to be a relic of the ecological past, I also stumbled into a surviving fragment of a world that I had known and that no longer existed. At least not for me. Even something as simple as seeing the bison droppings on the ground reminded me of the fact that subtle differences in the landscape that you might not even notice on a day-to-day basis do really have a subconscious effect on how you perceive the landscape around you. And so being there made me feel strangely like I was home. But it also made me incredibly homesick. This place started to feel to me like I was revisiting the best memories of my life, but only fleeting visions of them. Like being held by a lover you know is leaving, or parting ways with a family member for the last time. Even down to the yucca I saw at the visitor center. Not the same species, but no less reminiscent of those in my past homes in New Mexico or Colorado. After I left there, I decided I wanted to go for a hike. I stopped in at the Pond Planetarium. It's a really neat little building. It has your standard gift shop, and it also has lots of information and exhibits on the park itself. And it also actually has a planetarium that you can visit. They have a schedule of events posted at the door. You can sign up for them there. And as much as I love space and the night sky, I decided that given the emotional state I was in, now was a good time to go for a hike. So I walked out back, and I started on the Central Hardwoods Trail. Now, this trail is 11 miles long, and you can make it as difficult as you want it to be. And I'm no stranger to difficult hikes. But that wasn't really what I was in the mood for. I just wanted to sit in the woods. I think a lot of outdoor online culture really focuses on doing the most difficult thing all the time. And if that's your jam, go for it. Like I said, I do difficult hikes very regularly. But it's also okay to just go out and sit in the woods, lean against a tree, and take in the sights and the sounds. I mean, hell, they even have benches along this trail. But for me, I wanted to just be a little bit closer. The woods were warm, not hot, but humid. It felt like slipping into a bath. It was comforting and enveloping. I was engaging with nature how I wanted to, not how I felt like I was expected to. And so long as you're doing that, you're doing it right. As I hiked out, got in my car, and headed home, I left feeling as though I'd visited an old friend. And in many ways, I had.